Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi, I'm teacher Oakley, and in today's class we're going to be looking at transition words. Now, let me start out by saying that other textbooks or other teachers may talk about transition words in different ways. We have a lot of labels for these types of words and phrases which we use to introduce clauses or to connect clauses in compound and complex sentences to show things like the fact that we're adding information or we're going to present contrasting information or giving an example or we're stating an opinion. All right, you may in other lessons or other textbooks see these transitionals. They may be called discourse markers. Discourse is speaking. Markers, all right. They may be called signal words or signal phrases because they signal what the speaker is going to say. They could be called transition words. They could be called connectives, particularly when they connect phrases in compound and complex sentences. Okay, so there's a lot of labels, but these are really essential, important parts of speaking English. They are basically how we organize speech. For those of you who may be preparing for TOEFL or TOEIC or IELTS or CAE or any of those standardized English speaking tests, I cannot stress how extremely important it is to have a range of these transitional words and phrases in your repertoire of English vocabulary. It's extremely important. Okay, today, my goodness. Mauricio, are you really, you're struggling to get into the class. Keep trying. Keep going. Oh my goodness. What is the problem? All right, Mauricio, keep trying. Okay, what was I saying? All right, we're going to conduct this lesson. I have a long list of different transitional phrases. And categorized by their use. Some you're going to be extremely familiar with, you'll already know, and some not so much. As we go along, we'll start by looking at different categories, see what we can come up with without looking at the list, and then we'll look at the list and we'll look at some and we'll try to form sentences. Mauricio, did you make it?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah,
okay.
I had a problem with my connection or Hangout.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're in. Great. Loud and clear and looking good. Okay. Welcome. And hello, Alejandro. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine.
Hey. Nice to see you again, as always. Okay. And Soul, are you here? Also having problems getting connected. Soul, Fernando?
Hi, it's Sol from Buenos Aires.
Hello, Soul from Buenos Aires. How's the weather in Argentina?
It's been raining for the last 2 days, but now it's okay. A bit cloudy, but we are in spring, so it's normal here.
I love the spring. Okay. We're going to talk about these transitions and transitionals. We're going to go kind of category by category. Let's, okay. Transitions, again, they connect one idea with another and they organize speech. Extremely important in both speech and really also extremely important in writing. First, I want to talk about what I might call additive transitions. Transition words or phrases when we add information, when we make another point. Okay, when we're going to add another point, for example, we might say additionally, or as well, or what else can we come up with? Mauricio, off the top of your head, just thinking quickly, what other phrase or word can we say when we're going to add another point or add more information? Can you think of any?
In addition?
In addition. Very good. Excellent. There's one. Alejandro, can you think of another?
Yes, in spite of.
Ah, now you're getting into another area. We use in spite of to introduce a sentence where we're going to give contrasting information. For example, the concert will cost me a lot of money, but in spite of that, I'm going to go anyway because I love this rock band. All right? So it's more like even though, although, in spite of the fact, okay, you're going to do something in contrasting. All right? So that's a little bit different. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So, can you think of another transition which we use to add information?
Could be beside. Beside.
Besides, okay. All right. Or sometimes we say besides that. Yeah. Okay. Often that's an interesting choice. We often use in addition, additionally, also, as well, usually to add positive information. Besides, we often add kind of negative information, but we're adding information. Yeah.
Furthermore.
Furthermore, there's another one. All right. Yeah. Bring it. What other? Anybody? Furthermore, there's a good one. Anybody else?
Moreover.
Moreover, there's a good one. All right. Very good. Excellent. All right. Good job. It's good to have a bunch of these at your fingertips. So if you're talking about something where you're adding many points, you can add each point with a different transition. Great. Here's a whole bunch of them with a lot of yours. Moreover, furthermore, and also. Okay, sometimes we say indeed. Another point maybe. Okay, further or furthermore. As well. Okay, I said that. We also can use either or neither when we're adding information that's an option, or neither, a negative option. Okay, I like cake and cookies, and either blueberry or apple pie, for example. Okay, we may begin sometimes. Okay, here's your besides. Great. Sometimes we use these as a matter of fact or honest. Actually, that should be honestly. Honestly, or to tell the truth. Okay, when we're starting out and we're giving information, additional information we think the listener might not know or might not think that that we think. Or to correct information, add information and correct it, we often say actually. Well, actually, here's a piece of information you didn't know. Okay. All right, so here's a whole bunch of these that we use. All right. Now, these belong in another group. down with Alejandro, what Alejandro's talking about. Okay. All right. Anyway, all right. Okay, how about let's look at another group. What do we say to give an example? What kind of words do we use to make an example? Actually, let's try making a sentence. Mauricio.
Hi.
Hi. Can you try making a sentence where you're giving an example? Just simple, whatever. Simple, like I like ice cream, and then give me an example.
Brazil and last week had an election.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Dilma win.
Okay.
Won.
Actually, okay, you're using actually. Actually, won. Yeah, that's right. Dilma Rousseff. Yeah, I know. By a little, 51%.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep up on Brazilian politics, believe it or not. Yeah. Okay. No, okay. That's great, and thank you. All right, giving additional information. There's a sentence. Okay, maybe we should try that first. All right, Alejandro, can you give me a sentence where you add information? Just
Okay.
keep it simple. Doesn't have to be too complicated.
Okay. I'll do it as soon as I can do.
I'll do it as soon as I can do it. Okay. 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 Okay, that's okay. But now let's try adding a little information to that sentence. As soon as I can. Okay, that's a time indicator. That's a time clause to show when something happens. But let's add information to that. I'll do it as soon as I can. Which is a very normal English phrase. And then give me some kind of and. I'll do it as soon as I can.
I can have money.
Okay. All right. I was thinking of something like, I'll do it as soon as I can. Moreover, it will be done correctly. Or furthermore, I will get the job done correctly. Something like that. Adding a piece of information.
More information.
More information. That's where we're going to use these transitionals to add information as well. Moreover, additionally, besides, I'm going to get the job done correctly. Okay, another piece of information which is related to the first piece of information. Okay, it's related, it's just more. Sol, can you try to give me an example of a sentence where you're going to add a little information? Maybe two sentences.
I like riding my bike, but I also enjoy walking through the streets.
There you go. Very good. But I also enjoy. All right. You're adding another clause to the first clause, and you use a transitional. But I also like. That's great. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. Now let's talk about giving examples. What do I say when I want to give an example? Sol? What?
I usually use some a phrase that I think is a bit old.
Try it out.
Yeah, for instance, I like it.
For
I think
instance.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. That's perfectly acceptable. No, that's a...
But isn't it old?
No. It's I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Then again, I'm old. So maybe it doesn't seem bad for me. But no, I think it's perfectly normal and perfectly okay. Good one. Mauricio, what other phrase could I use to introduce an example?
Example, such as.
Such as. All right.
Maybe,
Yes.
Such as.
I love pie, such as blueberry, apple, strawberry. Yeah, okay. Very good. Alejandro, can you think of another way to introduce an example?
I don't remember.
Well, nobody came up with the obvious one. For example.
For instance.
For instance, for example, such as, okay, all right, but here's a bunch more I want to share with you, which you can also use. Okay, we got, for example, for instance, all right, but here's some more. Sometimes we can use as or particularly. Including, if we're going to give a list, we often say including, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Another one I like to show that somebody, okay, to illustrate is a nice one as well. Basically, in reported speech, all right, the author illustrates how something happens, okay? His speech illustrates the technique for tying your shoes, okay? I don't know. It gives an example. Notably is an interesting one as well. Notably, we use this one when we want to say something is a very important example. Okay, that's pretty basic. I think you probably know how to use those. Okay, a really good one to know for any of you guys involved in business. This particular list here. And maybe we'll try this out, because this is extremely useful for writing business letters or emails, and talking, even giving a presentation in business. Very useful. I use these all the time when I'm doing any kind of business speaking or writing. Okay, these are reference transitions. Okay, for example, regarding our talk last Friday, I've decided to move ahead with the project. The fact that the financing won't come through until July means we cannot start construction until August. All right? Hopefully you can see the idea of this. On the subject of the merger, I believe that ABC Company will proceed. Okay? All right. Very useful in business, and I look at these and I realize when I write business letters, I use these constantly. Hello, hi. Welcome to the class.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Hein.
Hein.
Not Hein.
Hein. Okay.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Korea.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, these reference transition phrases, these are extremely useful in practical real life and business. Okay. All right. Very
Teacher?
useful. Yes. Any questions about these? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mauricio.
There is different difference mean about in fact and the fact that.
Okay. All right. Good question. Okay, that's an excellent question. We use in fact to stress the point that the listener or reader may not understand the facts. They may not know what's going on. In fact, the project will not finish until October. So we often use it to make a contrasting point. All right? Do you understand? It's kind of like saying actually. Actually, you don't. Actually, you, the listener or the reader, may not know this. In fact, same kind of usage. Now, the fact that is used just like regarding. I'm talking about something, some information that we both already know. Me, the speaker, and you, the listener. Or me, the writer, and you, the reader. Okay? The fact that we cannot get our financing until July means the project cannot begin until August. All right? Okay, so I'm kind of introducing I'm referencing. To reference is to talk about something that's already known. All right? In fact, it's very close to actually. Really?
Okay.
Okay. Really, it's like this. In fact, it's like this. Maybe not what you think. Okay, any question? Anybody else have any questions about these reference transitions and how they're used? No? Okay, we're gonna continue. Okay, let's look at similar to show similarity. Okay, these are interesting. Let's try something totally different. Alejandro, can you pick one of these, any one of these, similarly, in the same way, by the same token, in a like manner, equally, likewise? Pick one of these, any one of them, and try to make a sentence.
Okay. The Earth and the Moon were made similarly.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, fair. Yes, that is a correct usage. All right. We can also use, all right, you're using it at the end of the sentence. That's interesting. You can use these also at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, the Earth is made of a lot of carbon and heavy metals. Similarly, the Moon is also constructed of such materials, something like that. Okay. Okay, Heian, can you try another one and try to form a sentence using one of these other constructions in the same way, or equally, or likewise?
Maybe like what in the same way? Oh yeah. I,
Well, maybe I can help you.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Usually we use similarity actually to talk about, well, obviously how things are the same, but often, for example, in the same way, how things do actions in the same way, or in a like manner. We're talking about probably actions that are similar. So, okay, okay. Birds lay eggs in the same way that fish lay eggs. Okay. Okay, something like that.
The same way.
Okay. Let's see. Think of okay. Okay. Dogs make great pets. By the same token, cats also are wonderful pets for humans. Okay. Kind of showing relationship or something like that.
Yeah. Like I work for government, and in the same way, my friends gain money. Like, oh, I'm working for government.
Okay.
It's a little bit awkward, but
A little bit awkward. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, you're getting close to the idea. All right. I work for the government in the same way that people in China work for the government there.
Yeah.
Something like that might work. Okay. Okay, Mauricio, you want to give this a try?
Oh,
A little challenging.
yeah. I think about, but
Okay.
I don't know about
Okay.
great phrase.
All right. Okay. I tried to think of something, but
Maybe suppose Microsoft to grow up or grow and in the same way Apple.
Very good. Now that's very good. Okay, that's very good. Okay, excellent. That's the idea right there. All right, Microsoft has grown rapidly. Likewise, Apple has done the same in just a little bit later. Okay. All right, that's really good. Okay, a couple other transition phrases that we use to identify. Okay, when we say things like "that is to say," to identify, okay, something. Let's see. For example, children love to play with toy cars, namely Mattel, Tonka Toys, and others. Okay, when I'm actually giving the name, many people like to drink soft drinks, specifically Coca-Cola, Sprite. Okay. All right, so we're identifying specific information. All right, here is another area where English speakers do this all the time in normal spoken English. We're not sure if usually in spoken English, okay? It's okay to do it in written English, but it's much more common to hear these phrases in spoken English. We do this all the time. So we're not sure if the listener understands us completely, so we clarify. That is to say, and we rephrase whatever we're saying in another way. I mean, okay, if you dealt with native speakers, you know that we use these phrases all the time. In other words, probably many of your teachers are not sure if you're understanding a concept, so they will use these. In other words, they will state it another way. To put it another way, all right, these are also very common. All right, so it's just a way of saying, okay, now listen, I'm going to rephrase what I'm saying. And there's another, I might say to rephrase, actually is another one that belongs in this list. Very common. Okay, all of the ones we've looked at so far are kind of when we're kind of adding information. Now, we're going to look at contradiction and contrast. Okay, this is where we get into talking about adding a contrasting point. Okay, this is when we say things like on the other hand. Whereas, all right, dogs are very friendly to humans and excited to see them, whereas cats do what they want and just walk away if they don't feel like dealing with you. Okay, using simple words like however and but. Let's try again. I want to do the same thing here. We've got more possibilities. Try to make a sentence using one of these transition words or phrases to kind of give an opposite point. And you know, keep it simple. Okay. You know, whatever. Talk about food you like or something. Mauricio.
Yeah, I have one. For example, organic produce is good for health, but they are very expensive.
Okay. That's an excellent example of using the transition. If I may give a little feedback, produce, the noun form of the word, produce, meaning vegetables, fruit, organic produce. Okay, but it is very expensive. And why? Because produce is uncountable. I can't say 3 produces. So if I refer to it with a pronoun, I have to say it, not they.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
If it was a countable noun, organic carrots, okay, are very healthy and nutritious, but they are very expensive because carrots, all right, they're countable. Okay, but the concept using the transition word is perfect. That's exactly how you do it. Very good. Hey, Ann, you want to try this one?
Okay. Spanish pronunciation is more or less similar to Korean pronunciation, whereas French pronunciation has nothing in common with Korean pronunciation.
Okay, that was perfect.
Okay, thank you.
That was totally perfect. Okay, excellent. That could have been written in an essay, and it's equally great spoken, and that was perfect. Is that true? Do you actually, or did you just make that up to, you know, make a sentence?
Okay, I made the sentence because I have studied both languages, and it's true, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Because for us, Spanish pronunciation is like not that soft and similar to Korean, but French, it was really, really difficult to pronounce. Yeah. English
okay.
also is difficult for me.
Okay. To pronounce.
Yeah. Pronunciation, grammar, everything is difficult.
Right. But you said you were using the verb. The verb is to pronounce.
Pronounce. Okay.
Okay. That's interesting. It's interesting to hear that perspective. Thanks for sharing that. Good job. Alejandro, you want to give this a try? Using
Okay.
Take your pick.
Okay. I was working while you was sleeping.
Okay. Well, now you're using while here has a different function. All right. While has many functions, but okay, you're using it as a time clause indicator. All right, which actually kind of works the same way. It really is kind of a contrast, actually, when I think about it. All right. Actually, when I think about it, you're making a contrast, but just about the time. You're doing something while somebody is doing something else. Okay, and your use is correct. All right. Okay. All right. But can it also be used not about time? All right. We can use while. Let me see. Okay. Vegetables are healthy, while cheeseburgers are terrible for your health. Okay. Has nothing to do with time. So it can be used as a transition word to just make a contrast, a comparison. A contrast, by the way, is a comparison of difference. You're comparing, but you're comparing what's different about two things. So, okay, it can be used in either way. All right, let's. Okay. Here's a few that we use to add emphasis. Even more, above all, indeed, more importantly, or there's besides again. Oh, soul is gone. Okay. Besides, we use to emphasize a negative point or additional information, which is negative. We use all these to emphasize something. Okay. All right. His feet stink. He's not too bright, but above all, he has terrible breath. Okay. When we use these transitional phrases, it is extremely common to hear a change in intonation as well. More importantly, all right, I can't go to the beach with you. I have work to do. I don't have any money, but more importantly, my car doesn't. My car is in the shop, so I can't go. Okay, so you hear a little transition, and you're emphasizing the most important reason, example, whatever, emphasizing it. Okay, here's an interesting category, concession. Okay. Does anybody know what a concession is? What does this mean, a concession, actually? Interesting word. Anybody seen this word or know this word? Okay, let me explain. First of all, there's two meanings. When you go to the fair and you want to buy a hot dog, or when you go to Disneyland and you want to buy some cotton candy, all right, you go to a concession stand. In the movie theater, when you go to the movies, you buy popcorn at the concession stand. All right, so that's one meaning. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I just thought I would point that out. A concession in regards to English language is when we concede, that's the verb, we concede a point about something. All right, we give up a point. In an exchange of opinions or possibly a debate, we may concede 1 point to the other person. All right. Okay. Here's a good example. Admittedly. Okay. Admittedly, cats are wonderful pets. However, okay, we have the however. These come often in pairs. One at the first clause and one in the beginning of the second clause. Let me start again. Admittedly, cats are wonderful pets. However, they are nowhere near as loyal as dogs. Okay. Okay, dogs are wonderful pets, but even so, they leave hair all over the house. So notice I'm making a concession. I'm saying something good. I'm agreeing. I'm maybe with somebody else's argument, or I'm saying something positive. But then I'm giving my opinion, my real opinion. Do you get the idea of this? My examples? Let me give you one more. Okay, going to the casino is a lot of fun. It's exciting and entertaining. Be that as it may, I don't like to waste my money. Okay, I don't like to throw away my money gambling. All right, be that as it may. I'm making a concession. Casinos are fun, exciting, entertaining. Be that as it may, I don't like to gamble my money away. So some of these phrases would come at the beginning. Granted, casinos are fun, or though or although casinos are fun. And then you might combine them. Although casinos are fun, nonetheless, I don't want to waste my money gambling. All right,
I will try.
You want to try it? Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead. Terrific.
Yeah. Roger Federer is the best player of the history of tennis, although Djokovic is #1 now.
Okay. All right. You've definitely got the right idea. That is definitely the right idea, but probably in that sentence you would probably start with, although Federer is the best tennis player ever, Djokovic is now #1. Although, blah, 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 and then you'd have a comma if you were writing. Although, first statement, comma, a subordinate clause, and then your main point. Because really, your main point, okay, your main point is Djokovic is #1 now. All right, yeah, that is the idea. Great.
Okay.
But essentially, you have the idea. Heian or Alejandro, do you guys want to give this a try? You don't have to. We can move on.
Me, yes. But I have one question.
Sure.
How can you pronounce Ayurveda? The word that next to nothing.
This one down here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good. Okay, that's a great question because I've heard it pronounced two ways in reality. Albeit, or albeit, or I'll buy it. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I think it's supposed to be albeit.
Albeit. Albeit.
It's similar to although in use.
Like so. Like I will wear white dress today. Ayurveda. It makes me look fat.
Okay, very good. All right, okay. Oh, white dress today would be considered a positive thing. Okay. Even though, all right, that makes, albeit. Okay, that would actually work. Would actually make sense. All right. Okay. So, all right, that's basically concession. Alejandro, I'm going to make you do this next one. Woohoo! How are you going to use these? A dismissal. Dismissal, not okay. It's a dismissal, but okay. These kind of dismissal phrases. Either way. Okay. I may have to work late. Your air flight may come in late. We don't know what's going to happen. Either way, I will pick you up at the airport at 7. Whichever happens. Okay? In any event, all right, this and that factor in information. Okay, you talk about a number of things, but now you're going to introduce those things don't matter. This is what's going to happen. Alejandra, can you try to use one of these phrases? In any case, at any rate, any of these, whatever you want.
Don't move in any case.
Well, that's very direct. Okay. Don't. Okay. Actually, that kind of makes sense. Don't move under any. Actually, we might say under any circumstances would be common, more common. That's not really the idea. Okay. Think about this. In either case, all right. So you're gonna. In either case means you would have to. You have to talk about two things. Okay, my wife may lose her job, or I may lose my job. But in either case, we make enough money to pay our bills. Okay, like that. So there's definitely more than one factor before we use this. There's more than one thing going on. Okay, more than one factor. Here's another example, all the same. Okay, my job requires long hours, and sometimes it's unpredictable how much money I'm going to make, but all the same, I still love it. Okay? All right, never mind all that. I still love it. It's when you use these dismissal phrases, you're kind of saying you're dismissing the earlier information. I don't care, whatever. This is really what's going to happen, what I'm going to do, what I think, what my opinion is. All right. Mauricio, you want to try this? Try one of these out?
I'm verbing class now. Either way, tomorrow I will wake up early.
Okay. Usually there's going to be at least a couple factors, maybe more, maybe dozens, but either way, I will wake up early. Okay, I may stay up late. I may go to bed right after class. Either way, I have to get up early. Like that.
Okay, more two or more facts.
Usually, yeah. Right, because you're because you're dismissing them as they don't matter. Whether this happens or that happens, it doesn't matter. Hey, Ann, you want to try this one?
I will go with you to travel, whatever happens.
Okay. All right. Whatever happens, I will travel with you. Maybe a more.
I will travel with you.
Okay. In this case, the factors are unstated, but we can imagine whatever happens, I will travel with you. Whether I don't know, whatever. Whether I lose my job or whether I have some.
Whether it rains.
Whether it rains or whether I get sick. Okay, there's any number of possible factors we could be thinking of. Okay, so maybe you don't actually hear the factors, but they're implied, which is what I would say with that example. It's obvious that there are a lot of factors to travel. Okay, so, all right. Replacement, okay, or at least, or rather, instead. Okay, these are fairly obvious. Why would you use instead? Okay. Well, we wanted to go to the beach, but it rained. So instead, let's go shopping. If you're, okay. Or at least if it rains, we can go shopping. Something like that, providing an alternative plan, an alternative idea, replacing an idea, something like that. Okay, let's talk about another kind of transitional word or signal phrases which involve cause and effect, or reason and result. So we kind of use different ones for cause. What way could we show cause? All right, why something happened. How could we do that? Anybody? Does anybody have any ideas? How do we show cause? Well,
consequence, maybe.
Well, okay, that would be okay. I know what you're thinking, but you're thinking more like effect. Consequently, that shows the effect of something. All right. He was late for work 40 times. Consequently, he was fired. That's the effect. So how might we introduce the phrase "he was late to work 20 times"?
Because he late for 20 times.
Because, right? That's right. Very good. Or we could say, being that he was late 20 times, in view of the fact that he was late 20 times, he was fired. Okay. Okay. And notice, view of the fact he was late 20 times, he was fired. Notice that I'm not saying, it's not usual to say, in view of the fact he was late 20 times, consequently he was fired. Generally, we're going to use one or the other, not really both. Not like when we make a concession and we may use some kind of transition word or phrase for both clauses. With cause and effect, we either use a transition clause, a transition phrase or word, either one or the other, for the cause or for the effect. Here's some more. For the simple reason that he was late 20 times, inasmuch as, well, there's one you may not be familiar with. Okay. Notice how many of these use either the fact, due to the fact, owing to the fact, because of the fact. All right. Or sometimes that. Seeing that he was late 20 times, being that he was late 20 times. Or obviously we can use since. Since is usually a time phrase, a time word that we use to indicate time, but I can also say since he was late 20 times, he got fired. All right. So it's slightly different use here. It's not really, you're not really talking about time. You're not talking about a time since 1992. I've been a teacher. I'm not saying that, okay, I'm not using it to indicate time. I'm totally using it to indicate cause. Okay. And here's some other okay, when we're going to show when we want to show okay, reason maybe, if clauses. All right. What is the if clause? What is the condition? On the condition that, well, that's pretty clear. In the event that a fire breaks out, everyone should calmly proceed to the exits. All right. Providing that you have enough money, we can buy the tickets. All right. So, all right. When we're talking about a condition, these are phrases that we use. Let's try this. Alejandra, can you try using one of these phrases on the condition that, or just a simple if phrase, or even if, only if.
Okay. If I win the lottery, I can rest.
Okay. If I win the lottery, I can rest. Okay, well, that's interesting. It's actually correct, totally correct. Interestingly, you chose to use the first, or the real conditional, which you used correctly. Present tense in the if clause. Okay, I can rest. All right, maybe it should be I will be able to rest. Actually, you should use a future. Not really I can, that's present tense. Yeah. I will be able to rest. Okay. Hayan, you want to try this?
Providing that I passed the exam, I will be able to graduate.
There you go.
From graduate school.
All right. Notice, okay, providing that, all of these, you're making a condition. It's a condition, you're making a conditional sentence, all right? So providing that I pass the exam, I will graduate, all right? It's the same structure. Mauricio, whether you're using if or one of these other transitional clauses, you use the same structure as you do in normal if conditional sentences. Mauricio, you want to try this out?
If I work hard, I will make money.
Okay. All right. I will make money. There you go. If I were a rich man. Okay. All right. Effect or result. How do we show an effect or result? Mauricio, you already gave me one, consequently. Can you guys, we've only got a minute left. Can anybody think about others that we use to show the result or the effect of something?
As a result?
Sorry?
As a result.
Oh, as a result.
Result.
That's right. Alejandra, can you think of a way that we introduce a result or an effect? Consequently, as a result.
As a result. Okay.
Well, here we go. As a result. Okay, very good. Consequently. This one. Therefore.
My teeth fell down as a result of sugar.
Ah, very nice. Good one. Okay. All right. My teeth fell. Well, of course, we would probably normally say my teeth fell out, not my teeth fell down, but that you're using the transition word correctly. So that's good. Great. Okay, guys, I'm afraid I'm out of time. I have to go because I got to start another Verbling class here in just a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope you learned some useful transitions. All right, thank you.